This refers to something that was mentioned before by two of our speakers already, the Blue Balloon Challenge. This is actually an initiative started by our partner Medtronic. In Germany, we were their community partner, and before talking about it, let's just watch the video of this beautiful diabetes awareness campaign, and then I'll hand over to Miray Kaymaz, who is the European Director for Marketing here in Europe. But let's start with watching that beautiful video of the Blue Balloon Challenge. Hanne, please play.
Type 1 diabetes. It's like you do everything you do in daily life, but while keeping a balloon in the air. It's a complex thing to explain, even to the people who know us best. Balancing the ups and downs of life with diabetes, it can be challenging. We all have our own ways of living with diabetes. And most of us handle it so well that it's invisible to others. Type 1 diabetes is always there, and it's time we start talking about it. Together, we can make a difference.
So, thank you so much, Bastian, for this great introduction. And I haven't heard the voice, but I'm sure in the streaming event, the watchers have seen it. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to really give a background on what has triggered this idea on our side as Medtronic. So as part of our work, we interact with a lot of people that live with type 1 diabetes, that have different demographic groups, that come from different cultures and different geographies. And as part of those interactions, there has been one and very consistent pattern and a pain point that we had been seeing. And this has to do with the education levels and awareness levels in the bigger society about diabetes. We know that within type 1 diabetes, there is, and especially thanks to community leaders, there is a lot of patient education, patient voice happening. But in the outer society, in general, people know very few about the diabetes disease. They don't know what is diabetes. They don't know what are the types of diabetes, what causes diabetes. And as a result, people living with diabetes are subject to stereotypes, misjudgments, and questions like, oh, because you have eaten bad and didn't take care of yourself, that's why you have diabetes. So our takeaway from all the stories is that yes, research, development, therapy innovation, all those activities are the #1 focus area and the core of diabetes care, because this is how we see biggest quality of life changes within the community. And on top of that, there are incremental ways to improve the quality of life for people living with diabetes. And this is through public education, public awareness, so that the community, diabetes community, feel understood. They feel understood in terms of how it is to live with the disease. So this is the why we have created the Blue Balloon Challenge. It is still going on in Europe, and actually very rapidly it is spreading to other regions like in the US, in Latin America. Some of the Asia Pacific countries are adopting it. So if you have access to a blue balloon, fill it up and join the movement, because the louder the voices, especially of communities, the easier we build this kind of awareness and education activities. So with this, I don't want to take a lot of time. I feel so privileged and so happy to be in this community and in this gathering. And thank you so much for having me.
Miray, thank you.
I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you also for not running this campaign as many companies would usually do, just by choosing a big agency and then putting it on your own channels. You chose in almost every country where you were running this campaign at least one, sometimes several diabetes patient organizations as at least partners. And in Germany, you reached out to dedoc and you asked us whether we could really co-create this with you. We have a separate landing page. We sent together with Medtronic 50,000 blue balloons to people in your database, but also people in our Diversity project, which is a program that we have launched on World Diabetes Day 2 years ago. If you don't know it, it is only available in Germany now, but it will be going international very, very soon. We send out this blue circle pin here that you all know, the symbol for diabetes worldwide. In Germany, we send this to everyone who signs up on the Diversity project on the day of their diabetes diagnosis. Be it 5 years after, 7 years after, 29 years after. I think the oldest participant has had diabetes for more than 70 years, if I remember. I can't even imagine how that works. But the Diversity project is collecting addresses and we're sending these pins on the day of the jubilee of the diabetes anniversary, the diagnosis anniversary, type 1 or type 2, by the way. And with that, we've been partnering with Medtronic and we've been sending out these 50,000 blue balloons, and it was so much fun. The campaign itself runs internationally on Instagram, and Steffi, who recently joined dedoc Labs to replace Maren and to help us with community management and social media, Steffi joined us, and Steffi will show a little bit of what happened in the community by community leaders, by people with diabetes promoting the Blue Balloon Challenge. Steffi.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me as well as part of the dedoc team. Yes, I just want to really close today with a huge thank you to everyone who's been involved and who's taken part in the Blue Balloon Challenge, and of course to Medtronic for choosing us as a partner. We very much focused on the German market. We also kind of made it our own because we focused on diabetes as a whole, regardless of type. And we saw some really, really great posts from the community. And I've just picked a few of them. You see babies. Thank you, Lisa, for having little Lotte join the Blue Balloon Challenge this early in her life. I'm sure there are going to be many, many more balloon and diabetes photos in her future. But you see a lot of different posts here, and these are just very few. So I really urge you to visit our Instagram account. So we've taken this opportunity of this challenge to actually finally launch dedoc on Instagram as well. So you can find us at dedoc_de for our German account, which is where all of the balloon magic was happening throughout the past few weeks, and dedoc_org for our international account, where you can obviously see a lot of Doc Day and dedoc Voices content as well. And this call goes out to everyone who's watching right now. Please do feel free to still take part in the challenge. Get a balloon. I've got one right here. As Bastian said, we sent up 50,000 of them, but there's also a lot of opportunity on Instagram. So there's a story filter, there are story stickers. Get creative and surprise us with your posts, because the ones we've seen so far are amazing, and we want to say thank you for that.
And please tag the German, the German or the international Insta account if you do so, and maybe nominate a couple of friends. You know, all the dynamics you know from social media to make sure the balloon keeps on flying. And in the meantime, we will be working with Medtronic on continuing or relaunching that campaign, maybe around World Diabetes Day. So watch this space, watch #Blue Balloon Challenge. I'm sure we can make this work again or make it fly even better.